Hi everyone, it's Cameron, the Dungeon Master for the Arbitrary Hero Waterdeep campaign, running Max's Mad Mythic Mercenaries through the streets of the City of Splendor with another recap. This will be the second part of a multi-section Waterdeep Dragon Heist Chapter 4 recap, as I'm running the Alexandrian remix, and that makes Chapter 4 pretty long, so I'm planning on doing multiple recaps to keep the length of each one more manageable. We return to Max's Mad Mythic Mercenaries with Roland, Alu, Sprocket, Holly, and Fen having just tracked a blue dragon wormling to the Skyhorn Lighthouse, where they found a mysterious statue they identified as the Statue of Waterdeep Elementals. Touching the statue gave Holly, the half-elf divination wizard, a vision of betrayal by an unknown party member sometime in the future. So to shore up her own power base, she actually allied with the recently, quote, rescued, unquote, Blue Dragon Wormling Ollie Kezarathorzox, Fierce Flight the Careless. Over the protests of the rest of the party, Holly devised an elaborate scheme to smuggle Ollie back into the city of Waterdeep, he having demonstrated that he was able to get past the Dragon Shield when they last encountered. In a mix of clever planning, Waterdeepian noble resources, and some truly outstanding good luck on her rolls, Holly was able to get Ollie back into Trollskull Manor, where he quickly set up shop in her room and began draining her and the Go Delicately family of all their wealth to fund their hoard. The Blue Dragon Wormling, having robbed Holly of her entitlement, was amusing enough that Al and Roland decided to hold off on immediately dealing with the dragon, letting her wallow in poverty for a little while longer. A clue that the party had found in the Growlhound Villa led everyone to believe that the Xanathars Guild was in possession of one of the eyes of the Stone of Galore. The party needed all three eyes to awaken the stone and learn the location of Neverember's enigma, so after a long rest the party decided to return to a spot in the Trades Ward that had been previously identified as a Xanathars Guild hideout. Following markers and investigating, took the party to Orb Confectionaries, where Alu, with her stealthy observation and hat of disguise, was able to bluff her way inside, knowing the secret passwords, and the whole party heads down into a secret Xanathars Guild cellar complex. And down here, it was just a blood path. With the party now at level 5, they churn through the Dwergar, Kobolds, and Troglodytes down in the complex with ease. The only point of real trouble being a gibbering mouther that took the team by surprise and incapacitated Alu and Fen for a couple rounds. But even the disgusting aberration doesn't last long against the arms and armor of Roland, Sprocket, and Holly. Aside from a very sick half-ogre that Alu mercifully leaves alone, the party found Thorvin Twinbeard, the dwarven blacksmith, tinkerer, and engineer. He was constructing some sort of strange contraption. It looked like a mechanical beholder, but like a parade float with some very cool flashing lights and a fucking banging playlist on it. Thorvin Twinbeard reveals he's been hired by the Xanathars Guild to make this float for an upcoming festival, as well as the markers that the guild uses to navigate the sewers, leading the party to be able to find another hideout. Alu and Holly decide to use these markers to try and find the next Xanathars Guild outpost, not realizing that they actually have found their way through the sewers of Waterdeep to the Xanathars Guild headquarters itself. Alu and Fen silently scout out the halls and deftly avoid spectral eyes that are keeping watch on the entrances. Sprocket turns Holly and Roland invisible, and they follow shortly behind. Finding a secret entrance, the party meets Flutterfoot Zipswiggle, a gnomish jester who's oddly helpful in guiding them around. That's not suspicious at all. With Flutterfoot's guidance, the party is able to get past the Arcane Eye security system and blend in with the larger party, celebrating gladiator games that are being held underground in Xanathar's honor. Naturally, this means the party splits up in this massive criminal organization headquarters to look for the Eye of Galore. Holly and Fen work together to disable the alarm system of the headquarters and compromise the locks of the access doors to the western parts of the headquarters. Alu gets mixed up in throwing one of the gladiator matches on the east side of the headquarters, secretly assassinating the Minotaur so the halfling fighter would win. An invisible Sprocket finds Thorvin Twinbeard's main workshop in the southwest corner of the HQ, filled with all sorts of odd and interesting mechanical devices and gadgets, as well as a friendly little albino gazer he decides to allow to accompany him on his exploration. Fen saw some drow that he recognized moving through the crowd of the party observing the gladiator games. The mysterious party crashers seem intent on infiltrating the inner sanctum of the base, perhaps to the same aim as our heroes. As the party continued exploring, they went down the stairs and stumbled into the bulk of the Xanathar's gang members in the middle of dinner and entertainment in the mess hall. A chaotic melee and chase ensued, with the head honcho eventually being alerted and sending more guards chasing after Alu, Fen, and Roland, nearly crushing the still invisible Sprocket in the process and getting misdirected by a disguised Holly. The gang would have nearly gotten away with it too if it wasn't for that meddling Nihilor. The Mind Flayer instantly recognized Holly by reading her mind and sicked a mob of Kuotoa on Holly, Roland, Fen, and Alu. The prolonged fighting took their toll on the party, and it seemed like this might be the end of our heroes, but they did manage to put an end to Nihilor, the Kuotoa, and most of the guards. At the same time, the drow that Fen had recognized earlier used the opportunity and the distraction to slip into the audience chamber of the Xanathar's Guild headquarters, while a still invisible Sprocket did the same on the other side. There, Sprocket witnessed an epic showdown between the Drow crack team, led by a mysterious and super cool Drow with an eye patch and a hat, against Xanathar's defender and the big blue nightmare eyeball himself. Seriously, Danny the player just made Cameron roll against himself for a while, until it looked like the cool Drow was in a position to kill Xanathar, at which point Xanathar began to retreat, and Sprocket used that opportunity to use his portable teleportal scroll to take the entirety of Xanathar's giant fishbowl out of the headquarters, the Eye of Galore the party was seeking along with it. The mysterious drow began to retreat empty-handed, and Xanathar was in a raving mad mood when his fish Silgar and the prize were stolen from him. When he stumbled upon the rest of the party cleaning up the last of the Kuotoa, it looked like it was time to be disintegrated when a mysterious gigantic sword punched through the lair, giving the party an escape access route. DM Ex Machina? Not so. This was actually the result of the charity live stream we ran with HeroForge. Go check out the video on demand. William Swingpike's B team had managed to take one of the giant walking statues of Waterdeep for a joyride and penetrated through the streets, sewers, and part of the undercity of Skullport to create an escape route. Yay! They're saved! In the ensuing destruction and calamitous chaos, Holly, Fen, Alu, and Roland were able to escape and reunite with Sprocket, now finally with the Stone of Galore and the first of its eyes. After a well-deserved long rest, where in the City of Splendors is our party seeking a Stone's Eye next? Tune in for more adventures every other Sunday to find out. Thanks, everybody!